Hi everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new to my craft room, then welcome. Today I am working on this rake DIY that I wanted to do. This is actually going to be for fall, but I want to do it now because they have these rakes at Dollar Tree now. And you know how that goes sometimes at Dollar Tree. They come and they go and you never see them again. So I figure while these are still available in the stores, and hopefully they'll have these through fall. Now when you buy this, you have to buy the top, and the pole is sold separately. But so I screwed this pole in here. If you wanted to, I'm going to paint this whole thing. Well, I'm not going to paint this. I'll show you what I'm going to do with mine. But this I'm going to paint. I was looking for a rust color. Couldn't find exactly what I was looking for. So I picked up this metallic vintage brass, and I think that'll be perfect for this. So that's the easiest, really the easiest way to paint these things. If you wanted to use like a chalk paint or an acrylic paint to, with a brush or whatever, you really have to kind of rough this up and sand it so it would stick good. But honestly, this easiest way to paint these is to spray paint them. So that's what I'm going to do for this one. And now for the pole, actually I marked the pole right here where it fits in there, so I know exactly where to stop putting on the stuff that I'm going to use here. Now, if you wanted to, you could just go ahead and paint this brown or whatever color you'd want to paint it. These have the little screw-on things that fit into all the different little rakes and things they have at Dollar Tree right now, mops, whatever. And it's just this regular pole. So you could spray paint that too, but I'm going to take this nautical rope. I'm not sure, I'll have to let you know after I finish wrapping it how much I used. I'm using the thinner, they have the thinner nautical rope and they have one that's much thicker than that. I'm using the thinner one. And I'm going to wrap this whole thing with that nautical rope, and I think it'll make it look like a bigger, like a thicker handle, like a wooden rake would have or whatever. So that is what I'm going to do for that. Now the first thing I'm going to do with this rake, though, let me move my handle out of the way here for 1 second. I am going to drill 2 holes in here. You might be able to get through this with an awl or something, really like one of these really sharp tools. I don't have the oomph to do that. So I'm going to use my handy dandy little Dremel here. This is like a must-have tool, anybody that really is into doing crafts, because you can attach so many different things to this little Dremel. I think I got this at Walmart years and years ago. But you can put like the little round cutting discs on there, and you can cut with it, drill with it, put screwdriver attachments on, whatever. But this is just a handy little tool, and I don't have it plugged in. But I will mute this while I'm drilling because it's going to make an awful sound. But I do want to put 2 holes in here because I'm going to actually slip some wire through. This is actually 4 pieces of floral wire. I have thicker wire somewhere. I can't find it. So I just wrapped 4 pieces to make it nice thick. And this is what's going to be on the back here that you could hang this like on a hook or something. And then the bottom of it, I think I'm just going to, I want this on my porch. The bottom I'm just going to hook with a zip tie onto my railing and then just have the top held by a little hook, probably one of the command strip hooks or something. But I thought this would look really cute, with like some pumpkins outside, or if you put hay bales out for the fall, whatever you do, I think this will look really cute. And then we're going to also decorate it up. I have a whole bunch, I just pulled a bunch of these flowers that I had left over from last year. I don't know if I'm going to put a bow on it yet or not. We're going to see, but I have some of the sunflowers, some leaves, these ferns that I'm going to use on here to decorate this thing. So whatever they have, and they may come out with some really nice stuff this year at Dollar Tree too for that kind of thing. This paint I did pick up at Michael's. It was quite pricey. I don't remember what it was, but it was the only color that really kind of fit this project. Alright, so I am going to go ahead, I'm going to show you how I'm going to drill this in here, and I'm going to stop this video so I can actually edit out the noise much easier. Okay, how easy was that? That was so simple. Alright, so then all you have to do is paint this. Now, I did paint one already. This one I think I'm going to use without a pole. I'm going to paint this one another time, and I think this will look really cute, decorated for like in the center of a wreath. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. I only bought 1 pole, So that one, we'll probably do that later on in the year. But if you want to do stuff with rakes, I advise getting them now. But here, this is what it looked like after I painted it. I think that'll be perfect. I was afraid it was going to be really too shiny, but it's really not. It came out really nice color. And there's my little holes in there that I drilled on this one. And then inside you can see the beautiful orange that's still there from the other one. But now that what I'm going to do here is, let me get one of these that I have open, is I'm going to take this nautical rope, I'm going to get this tape off of here. Now what you're going to want to do with this, once you get this tape off, or cut it off, whatever is easier, let me grab my finger protectors so I don't burn myself. My desk drawer's a mess. Alright, so what we're going to do here is I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue in the end of this, just so it doesn't unravel, because this stuff will unravel on you. So just take your little finger protectors and spin that around there and let that cool off. Which, you know, this stuff cools pretty quick. I'm going to do the same thing on the other end because, like I said, I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to have to use to do this, so I'm sure it's going to be like 4 or more. But like I said, if you don't want to go through all this trouble, you could just spray paint your handle. But that's that for that part. So now, I'll keep one of these finger protectors on. Let me set this aside because I want to work on this handle. There we go, don't fall down. Alright, so then I made that little mark on there with a little Sharpie. So I know I want to go right underneath that line that I started. Now this stuff doesn't stick really terrific to stuff like, you know, this metal. But once you wrap it around one time, it will glue onto itself really good and it'll hold really well. I don't want that up there. There we go. So we're just going to get this started here. And then once you get that around the first time, then you're going to start gluing it onto itself, and that's really what holds this on here. So I'm just going to start adding a little glue, and you don't have to do it on every one, you know, every round. But as we wrap it down here, I'm just going to add a little hot glue every now and then just keep wrapping this and wrapping it and wrapping it and get it up nice and tight. And I just think this is going to make it look like a more thicker handle when this is all said and done. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep wrapping this thing. Really simple, and then every so often I'm going to stop here and add a little hot glue to make sure they stick together well. Get that up there, there we go. And that ought to hold this just fine. Like I said, that's glued, the end now is glued onto this piece so it won't pop off of your handle. So spin it around a couple more times. Add a little more, whoops, this is hard to do, this thing is so tall. Add a little hot glue to this one here, and then get that one in there. Just make sure you keep pushing them up nice and tight. But I think I'm really going to like the look of this one. Alright, so I'm just going to finish going ahead and wrapping this thing all the way down to the bottom, and then I will let you guys know how many of these it took to get there. Alright, I got this thing all wrapped. It took almost 5 of these. You could even do this with like regular jute string if you wanted to, like a little bit of the wider jute string, and it would probably be a little bit cheaper to do it that way too, but it's also going to take quite a while. But it's not too bad, you just keep spinning this thing around and gluing it every so often. It didn't really take too long. But like I said, these are the 9.5 inch long, and this is the thinner rope. I don't know if the thicker rope would work good because I think it's going to make it look too chunky. So anyway, I'm going to take my little rake piece here, and this I want on the front where the little tongs stick out. So I'm going to take my 4 little pieces that I wrapped together here of floral wire, or you can use any wire. You could use, you know, jute string, whatever you want to hang this up with. Of course, I can't get my ends to match here. Come on. Let me get those together. Alright, let's try to get that one in there first. Yeah, I just figured 4 of these pieces of this floral rope would be strong enough to support this. Alright, so I'm just going to tie this loosely right now because I'm not sure how long I'm going to want it yet, but this is what I'm going to use on the back here to attach this to a nail, so it'll, you know, stay put. So now we're going to put our pole back in our rake here so I know which one, exactly where the front's going to be, and hopefully it's going to end up, yeah, of course it didn't, where I started there. Okay, so there we go. That is what our rake looks like now. And then I'm just going to lay this down here. I'm going to figure out exactly how I want to place all of my flowers and ferns and things on here. Still not sure if I want to put a bow on this or not. I think it's going to be enough with just the flowers, and I mean that's totally up to you. But I think that's going to be enough for this one. And the ribbon that I have that I was going to use is what I'm not too crazy about because it has a lot of shine in it. This I got last year at Dollar Tree. And I really don't want anything with all this shiny stuff, so we'll see. When we're done here, we shall see. So I'm going to sit here and cut a bunch of these off. I'm going to cut all these ferns off here so I can place them, you know, how I want them, and I'm going to use some hot glue, and I'm also going to use some of these clear zip ties to put on here, and they will connect in the back, and you'll never see those. So that'll make sure that none of this stuff is going to slip off here. So let me go ahead and cut these apart. I do have some of this boxwood too from, this I actually got at Walmart. I love their boxwood things. And these are just a great filler to put in. So I may use some of these too. I don't know. I'm going to cut all these things off and try to lay them out here and see how I want to do it. But so you guys don't have to watch me try to make up my mind, because it could take a while. I'm going to get all these cut out, lay them out, and figure out how we're going to do this. Alright, a bunch of these cut off now. I left the stems long on these ferns because these are kind of going to be the base that everything else is going to get connected to. So I want to start out with a fuller one. What I like about fake flowers is if they're not facing the right way, you can just fix that. So, let's see. I'm going to hot glue these down. I want some of this up over the rake. Not too much because I don't want to really cover the rake part up too much. Just up over the top here a little bit. So I'm going to hot glue these. I'll leave all these stems. I'm going to try to keep these straight because then after I get these in position, then I'm going to actually hold them down with the zip ties. I'm looking for my little, oh, I put them away, finger protector here to push this down a little bit. But yeah, so I want to make sure your wire's laying flat when you glue these down. And everything will glue really good, too, to this nautical rope. So that's another plus using that stuff. So let's see here. Get one going out to the side here a little bit. That looks good right there. So I'm just going to attach that with a little hot glue to keep it in place. And keep my stems together here. And you can add more or less to this, whatever you want to do. I'm going to have some other things sticking up out of here, so I just kind of want to make this top piece. I'm going to bring this one down a little bit just to fill it in. Still the stems are all going to be right here in the same spot, so I can zip tie them down. So I glue those where I want them to stay. You don't want to glue up in here too much because I want to tuck some things in behind these ferns. I might even put one up just a little bit higher here. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we'll put that one up there. I'll just have to add another zip tie there to hold that down. Hot glue it into place first, and I think that is good for the top. And then after this is all set, you can kind of bend these around and fan them out a little bit more. But that is how I'm going to attach them. So I'm going to take two of these zip ties right now. Or actually, I'm only going to do one because I'm going to catch this little one up here that I had by itself, and then to make sure that one doesn't go anywhere. And these are all going to get covered up, these zip ties. You're not going to see them. Way too much stuff on this little desk right now. But I just wanted to make sure I get that one zip tied down real good. There we go. Just cut that off. There. I don't have to worry about those going anywhere. And like I said, these are going to get zip tied down too, but I want to put my ones that are going to be facing down towards the bottom of this rake. I'm going to have some coming down this way. So we're going to hook all those on at the same time. Make sure you get all your little things here turned around. And this is just the hardest part right here. It's just getting all of these on here where I want them. And then the other stuff we're just going to glue right on top of these ferns, and that stuff will stick really good to those. So let's see, we'll make this one come. Get these turned around the right way. There we go. Get all my things up here together. This one too. Let's see, that one could go over that way a little more. I'm just mumbling to myself here in case you can't hear what I'm saying. Kind of thinking out loud a little bit. So I think that one will be good right here. And then I'm going to take another one of these two pieces here and bring them down just a little bit lower than these. And these I'm going to actually bend so they can fan out more on the sides. But I want to get them attached first with my zip ties. I need another glue stick. There we go. I'm just going to put some glue behind those couple of leaves that are going to be hanging way down here. There we go. Alright, so I think that's it for the ferns. You can always add more or less, whatever you want to these. And I'm going to grab all of these stems with a zip tie. Actually, I might even just do this one in the front because it's going to be covered up with the flowers and things. So, it really doesn't make a difference. But this just gives it a little extra hold. You know, sometimes when your stuff's outside, it's just hot glue. It just wants to fall off. Alright, so that should hold those on there really good. So let me hold. What am I knocking over back there? Oh my. I just wanted to kind of hold this up here so you could see. I just have those two zip ties on there. Alright. I'm just knocking everything over with this long handle. I need a bigger table to do stuff like this. Alright, so now I have some of these little wheat things here. I have leaves I want to use on here. So I'm just going to kind of start, that I can clip off. I'm going to start just placing some of these on here to see where I want them to go. And then we can hot glue them down when we're ready for them. So I know my flowers. I want one to start like way up here. I want one to end up way down on this side. Down here. And then I want a whole bunch of these are going to be in the center. Not like all bunched together, but kind of like this. But I have other things I need to stick under there first. But I'm just trying to get an idea of where I want this stuff. Alright, so that is where they're going to go. These are my center ones, top one, bottom one. Alright, now I have a bunch of these leaves over here that I cut out that I am just going to kind of stick down in behind these ferns that are already zip tied down. And then I can just kind of bend them and glue them into place where I want them. You gotta have some fall leaves. I'm sure they should be all coming out really soon at Dollar Tree. Let me glue them down real good. And like I said, we can rearrange all this stuff once everything gets set. And I want to glue up over in here. I'm just going to stick them down behind my wire and glue them down where I want them to stay. So these all kind of get glued to the ferns. Alright, so we have a few leaves there. I also want to put like a few stray leaves just up in the rake part. These leaves, I've had these leaves all bunched up in my little container here since last year, so some of these are kind of messed up. But I'm excited to see what kind of new florals and things they have out, leaves and things this year at Dollar Tree. Alright, so we got some leaves there. Then I want to use some of these cattails. All this stuff is from Dollar Tree. Where are the ones? Oh, over here, the ones I cut off. I have some of this wheat we can use. There's just all kinds of cute little things you can stick in here and glue in. I might stick one of these wheats way up in here, just to stick up there at the top. I think that is what I'm going to do. I might just glue that one right to the rake. Nope, didn't catch it. Alright, I'm going to have to glue it to the ferns. That works best. Alright, so I'll have a little wheat sticking out up there. Let me put another one down in here. Some of them had leaves, some of them didn't have leaves on them. So, this is the longest part of making this whole thing, is just making up your mind where you want all of these things to stay. That one's going to go right there, and then you can add another zip tie, or you could use floral wire, whatever you want, to make sure that none of these are going to pop off on you. But they should hold pretty good to the ferns. Alright, now I need a few more leaves down here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, because this is going to take a while. I'm actually going to just do the top part, and I'm going to do the bottom part the exact same way. So, that'll make it a little bit quicker here while I'm deciding what I want to do. So I will do the bottom part off camera because, like I said, it's going to be exactly the same thing, and this is just going to take a while. Some of these, like that one, I did manage to get underneath that zip tie. And I'm just going to add some hot glue down there to it. Keep that in place. Oh, I love those little cattails. They're cute. I think I want another one. Let's see, I have an orangey colored one that maybe I can get over on this side. I wonder if I can get that one through there too. Well, it goes right in with the wires, so that's good. And I'm going to bend, like I said, I'm going to bend some of these ferns out once I'm done here. So, just get that one glued down on there, underneath. And I might add some more stuff to this as, you know, once fall gets here and all the goodies come out. But I figured I want to get this done, and so everybody can kind of go get a thing, if a rake, if you want to do this. I may actually start this first flower way up there. And I just pop these right off of the stems. I'm going to glue that right onto that first fern, kind of peeking out. I almost want to change my mind here because it's kind of dark with that leaf that's up there. So that's what I'm going to do. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Too much orange in one spot. Alright, so there's our first flower up there. And then let's see, we're going to start down here. I just stuck my hand in that glue. Luckily it wasn't that hot anymore. I'm going to grab one that's not burning hot. Nope, I need one more color. So I think I'll start with one over here, one here. Yep. One on that side. Stick this one right down here in those leaves. There we go. And then when I get over here, we can start by going, I want this one down at the bottom though, start by going out this way. And then this one will come back in this way. And I think I'll leave my nice bright yellow ones for the bottom there. Alright, so I can put the other one on here. I'm running out of space to glue these on. There we go, I can get that to glue right on there, because this will hold, like I said, everything glues onto this nautical rope really, really well, so I think I can get that one right on there. And then when we get this other one on here, then that covers up all of our pieces that we hooked together with the zip ties. So let that cool here for a second. And yeah, I don't know what else I want to put in here. Don't really have any other. I kind of like some more picks to come out of here. Maybe I'll put another couple pieces of this wheat up in here too. I think that'll be really pretty. I haven't seen this again. I got that last year at Dollar Tree. I hope they come out with some more stuff like that, because they really don't have a lot of greens and things. They are getting a few more, I've noticed, than they used to. But alright, let me hold that there till it cools. Alright, so I think that's all I'm going to do. I may add another wheat, I don't know. We'll see, but I'm going to just do the bottom here with the flower, some of the cattails exactly the same, just kind of upside down, and then I'll show you guys when I get that done. Alright guys, I don't even know what just happened here. I don't know why. I thought maybe I didn't even hit the button enough to turn my camera on. I don't know. It's one of those days. Anyway, what I did up here, the only other thing I did that I didn't do on camera, I slid this whole thing down so you could see, is I took a couple of these leaves here, and I don't know what happened. I don't know why my camera was off. It should have been off. Anyway, I just folded it in half, cut a slit in it, just enough so it'll fit over at the top of your rake here. I'm not going to put this one on because I already got these on here. And then just slide it down on here, and that kind of looks like, you know, it got stuck on the rake when you were raking up the leaves. And then I just added a little bit of hot glue underneath here to hold them in place, and that is it. And then for the rest, oh, there's that leaf I dropped and I couldn't find it. I was going nuts. The only other thing that I was doing, which I thought my camera was on, so I got to say all this over again. Hope I don't forget anything now, is just bend your wires up on these things here to make them pop out a little bit better. And, you know, if you decide you'd rather have a nice bow in the center here, then you can go ahead and add yourself a nice bow. So I'm going to hang this up so we can get a better view of this here. It's really hard to see on my table. And I have a nail over here in my one closet door that I can probably hang it on, since it is starting to rain outside. So at least it waited till I got my spray paint done. But anyway, that is it for this project. I'll hang it up. You guys can see how it looks, and I will see you guys all next time. Have a great day, everyone.